Smackdown, Smackdown, Smackdown. A lot of things happened on this show tonight. Some that made sense, some that didn't make sense. Was it a good show? Yeah, pretty much a good show. Better than Raw, even though y'all know it was only really one really great thing on Raw, and most of the rest of it was crap. And I don't know what the ratings are for that show today. I heard they went up. If they did, they're lucky they went up. But they still had a shit show though. But I'm sure the ratings will be down again by next week on Raw. But as we kicked off with SmackDown, Shane McMahon came to the ring. He was there for the Money in the Bank match, for the Women's Money in the Bank match. As he introduced everybody for the match, he showed the briefcase, and it was a white briefcase, pretty much. So they did like the case right there. You know, the opportunity holds him in this case, and whoever has this will have any time they can. Pretty much like the regular Money in the Bank match. You will be able to cash in on at any time on the champion. As James Ellsworth then pretty much took the microphone and says that the Staten Island Princess Carmella will win and stuff. But Charlotte pretty much said pipe down. The Queen is talking and stuff. As Natalia pretty much said that, oh, you know, she's the best there is. Let's stop ripping off your father and stuff. And then Becky Lynch says, why'd you stop ripping off your Uncle Brett? Which people actually react big way for Becky out there. And he says, I can rip everyone's arms off. I'm going to rip everyone's arms. I'm going to become Miss Money in the Bank. So, hey, the case is alright. White briefcase. It's whatever. Money in the Bank is Money in the Bank. So, they got the case. But until Naomi came out, you know, she said, this match going to be lit. But the thing is, she wish she could be in it, but she's not. And, you know, she's looking for a match. Until Lana made her debut, which I'm surprised she did not come out dancing, since they made that thing for weeks for her being some type of showgirl dancer. She came out as people did react for her and chanted Lana and everything. They did chant for her. And Shane pretty much told him, you know, this isn't going to work right now. And she pretty much says, you know, whatever works for her, you know, it's gonna work for you too. Also, pretty much telling Shane McMahon, because Shane wondered why is she out here, and she wanted to be in the Money in the Bank match until some of them started laughing. Half of the women, they laughed as Naomi said, "You don't belong in the match." And she said, like, "Who have you beaten?" "I'll wait." Doom 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 doom. Doom 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 doom. It was pretty funny. And you know, I want you to date somebody. But Lana pretty much says, I can beat you. As the crowd actually did kind of react with that, say, ooh. But I thought one thing was funny was Charlotte and Becky kind of doing like this drinking thing. I thought it was that she was smoking, like, you know, smoking past the weed. That's what I thought, but I guess it was some type of singing a crazy tea or something like that. So it was pretty funny how Becky and Charlotte were just doing this and stuff. I thought that was pretty funny. I was like, was she really smoking that stuff or something? But Shane says, you know, you're not gonna do this right now, all right? Because Naomi wants to take her out. Because it's true. Like, what have you done? Who have you beaten? I'm the champ around here. So I thought that was pretty good. But Shane McMahon said, you know what? You have to earn your opportunity. As she got pissed and walked off, the crowd was really pissed that she walked off. And they all chanted for Lana again. So as she walked away, Shane says we're going to do a 6-woman tag match right now. As the welcoming committee went against Charlotte, Becky, and Naomi again since Backlash. We saw this match again. Wasn't much to say from here. We kind of knew Lana was coming back out. She came out, she knocked Naomi's leg under, and Tamina hit a super kick to win the match. So, Lana is Lana, and we'll get in later there into another thought on that. Shane then walked to the back as Mojo Rawley was there with the Andre the Giant trophy, which just happened to show up. And, you know, he said it was one of the greatest songs of my life, but I've been on the bench for about 2 months now. I haven't gotten any opportunity, and so I beat the WWE champion, Jinder Mahal. And Shane says, you know what, you're going to get your opportunity. If you win this match, you be in a Money in the Bank match, which Mojo, which I forgot he was on TV, to be honest, because he just had that trophy that started, showing kids around tours and stuff. So I just wondered that. But then again, do I really want to see Mojo Rawley versus Jinder Mahal again? Not really. We saw it the first 2 times, one the dub, which I still don't know that whole battle royale just to have Gronk out there. And the second time was just ridiculous, because Gronk was there again. But we'll get into that when that match comes on. AJ Styles went against Dolph Ziggler in a rematch from last week, which Styles pretty much hit the Styles Clash and won the match after it was sunset flipping to a pinfall. So AJ got his payback right there. Even I thought it made no sense that hey, gotta beat you in your hometown. You're from your hometown, you gotta get beat for some reason. So the match was a little here and there. So it was pretty much an okay match with Ziggler and Styles. So AJ got the win. Styles Clash, people react big. One of the more funnier moments of the night, which I thought actually was really funny, was the Fashion Files. And they had black and white, and they talked about the colognes and the cologne and stuff, until the New Day came up with the ice cream cart, and it moved on its own too, and they came to the fashion police officers, pretty much Breeze and Mandango talked, in their heads, about who's going to take the case and stuff. As they narrate their sales in their head, New Day couldn't hear, so what are they doing? They're just looking on the silence. They says, you know what, we got something for you, right, to take this case. As they pull out of Big E's tights and stuff, they were rompers. And Fandango says, you know, we don't take bribes, he says. But since Tyler Breeze had, I was like, hey, these rompers, these are the stuff, man. Come on. They said, hey, we'll let this one slide. So we'll take the case. As pretty much the Fashion Police showed them the Uso shirts, the day one-ish. You know what the H is? And this is day one-ish, alright? It's day one-ish, alright? So, yeah. So, New Day said, not New Day, the Brazongo said they will take the case. They said, new case rocks. New case rocks. As the New Day looked very confused and walked off, which I thought was funny. That was one of the better ones, I'll say that. Especially with the New Day, they did make it funny with the black and white and, you know, actually giving these guys some time. So it was pretty good. I'll admit, that was funny. The Fashion Files, it has its weak. Sometimes it's a little bit weak, but I think this was a good one. In my opinion, I think it was a good one. Mojo Rawley versus Mojo Rawley versus Jinder Mahal, which, in my opinion, I've said this before, like, I guess we're to the point now where it's jobber versus jobber for the, well, not even for the title. I feel like that may come one day for some odd reason, but it's going to be jobber versus jobber for the WWE title. And yes, Jinder had this somewhat grand entrance with the Singh brothers doing a big introduction for him. And even though there was a carpet in the ring, but the match itself was just kind of, I don't know. And then Jinder he did win with the Cobra Clutch Slam and stuff, and he pretty much, he was in the ring, and he called for silence as the fan chant USA. He said he dismantled the dreams of Mojo Rawley, and he's going to beat Orton in his hometown. And says Orton is sick, he said. And he's going to lose, and that Jinder is the antidote. And he pretty much says at Money in the Bank, he is the modern day Maharaja. And he pretty much said something in Punjabi and won the, not won the match. You know, this match itself was just kind of, I don't know. It was never nothing good about this match before. It doesn't make it good again. You know, it's kind of funny now, because, like, the only time Mojo Rawley really won these matches against Jinder Mahal was when Gronk was with him. So it's like, if Gronk is not with him now, he can't win the match on his own. Then again, this Andre the Giant trophy ain't done nothing for anybody ever since they made this thing. And you know, as for Jinder, I don't know how long this is gonna go and stuff. how they're only going to keep this running. Match, I just really didn't care. Him cutting the promo was, it's okay for what it was. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. And I guess some people say this guy's supposed to be carrying the show now since he's champion. Maybe it was originally in the main event also, but Jinder and Mojo, I just really did not give a crap for because we've seen it before many times, and it's like, give a shit damn near. Randy Orton was interviewed in the back about Jinder Mahal, and he talked about he was in the Iron with legends like Ric Flair and Harley Race. And, get well sooner Harley Race also, I believe he fell down his steps at his home the other day, and he broke both his legs, I believe, and had that surgery on. So, best wishes to Harley Race. And I heard Flair, I don't know, he got a cast on his arm. I heard he's gonna fight maybe. I don't know, it's Ric Flair for you folks. But he pretty much talked about Jinder, you can do all the talking he wants, but it's St. Louis in his hometown, he's gonna get the WWE title back. The New Day went against the Colognes, which I'm surprised this wasn't even a squash match, really. Which New Day was going to go over anyways, but I knew he was going to win. I thought this would have been a quick match, but it actually had somewhat of a good to, decent match, really. But it was, I don't want to say squash, because squash matches don't go on that long, but I expected a squash match. The Usos pretty much then made a promo, which I thought was funny. Talking about the New Day. Said, Kofi, you out here wearing a crop top with pigtails, man. All you need is a tutu. Let me get him. Big E, let me get him. You out here wearing a broadside. That's the name of your broadside, son? You got your chest hanging out your singlet, man. What's up with you? Until Jay, man. Jay had to get Xavier. He wouldn't let that man live. He would not let that man live, I tell you. Xavier, I want you to look up, then down. And what are those? I'm talking about shoes. And it's you ain't gonna be no paranoia. You ain't got the hair sticking behind your necks or your head on a swivel. It's not gonna be paranoia. It's the Usos. So once again, the Usos do great on another promo. Some people think it's getting repetitive now and saying the same old stuff, but I think it's fun. I like it. I'm sure some don't understand it. I understand it, and I thought it was hilarious. So I like the Usos promo. Sami Zayn with his sometimes cringe promos. He's been prepared for Money in the Bank. He's watched all tapes of his opponents. He talked about Shinsuke Nakamura, and he's been in the ring with him. When he does this, trying to do something like that of him. He said he's going to be ready to be on commentary tonight, but Baron Corbin pretty much came up there and sucker punched him and then beat him with a little ladder and walked away and say, looks like the spot is open now. Oh. But, I don't know. Well, we'll see how this whole Corbin thing, he's figuring out Sami Zayn, because I don't know if people even want to hear him on the mic then because of his, and really now seeing that having cringe promos now with the hand gestures and stuff. Naomi was talking to Shane McMahon, so I want to match with, Lana, and he says she'll beat her, and, she says she's got, because she says, at Money in the Bank, she had found a Russian hat, because it's going to snatch her ball, pretty much. And it'll be for the title also. So I don't know how that's going to go, both of them for the championship. I don't know how good of a match it'll be. We haven't really seen Lana wrestle yet. Maybe she'll do a match next week. I don't know. So that's just a match right now for Money in the Bank. Kevin Owens did one against Shinsuke Nakamura, which is a pretty good match. I enjoyed it. But Shinsuke Nakamura was able to get him with the Verse Exploder Slam and Kinshasa for the win. So it's the third time now that Shinsuke Nakamura has beaten Kevin Owens. Clean, by the way, too. Clean. 2 in a tag match and 1 in a one-on-one match tonight. Beating Kevin Owens. I don't know why Corbin makes Eric Cartman jokes and Marshmallow jokes about him. Kevin Owens. But after the match, Corbin pretty much came in with in days and laid him out, which probably Shinsuke will have a match with him next week, and he'll take him out of it too. Get another win over somebody. He'll beat Corbin. Oh, other news, John Cena will be back July 4th for Smackdown, which I feel like he will come back like last time and say, you know what, everybody in the back of the line, because I'm John Cena, I get a title shot. And if Jinder Mahal is still a champion, I'm sure they will go with the Super American Hero versus the Foreigner and stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. But Nakamura and Owens was okay. I'll say that. I thought they had a better match on Ring of Honor though when they did that match there. Ooh. But it was okay. I'll say that. I will point down one thing. I would say about the Shinsuke Nakamura promo though. I know why this whole artist thing going. I still don't know where they're going with that, but I don't know if they're going with an artist or artists is in music. They like to go both ways sometimes. So I don't know, but the match was what it was. So yeah, we'll see about that. But pretty much it was a better show. I would say better than Raw most of the time. But SmackDown was good. Got John Cena coming back soon, July 4th. Like I said before, Money Bank. Lana actually makes her debut tonight. Nakamura versus Owens. The Fashion File. So show was what it was tonight. But hey, check out my Raw review and Extreme Rules review and live reactions. I'm out. See you later. Peace out.